Right, lads, we're back again. This week we're in Shanghai, UFC China. We're back again. This is going to be on around 8 in the morning my time, so rip me. We didn't do too bad at 319. We landed the lock. We were okay in a few different things, didn't land a few others, but what can you do? What can you do? We are going to move into it quickly here, though. The main event is Zhang versus Walker. So Johnny Walker's about to get crucified. Zhang's about to get his 19th finish, and probably, I think it's his 14th first round finish. Easy stuff, easy as piss. But we'll move into the lock. Let's get down to it. So yes, lads, this week's lock is going to be Kevin Borjas. He is fighting Sadhu Manji. Now, personally to me, I think Kevin Borjas is probably hating on the bookmakers. He came in as the underdog against Lazy Boy, battered Lazy Boy. Has had a hard road in the UFC, I won't lie. He's had a few tough fights. He's fought Josh Van, he's fought the likes of... Van is 1 and 2. He has fought Acosta and Van. In Acosta, he basically just took leg kicks upon leg kicks, didn't really react too much to them. Obviously, he's taken out Lazy Boy, and he took out Victor Diaz on the road to the contender. He is a really, really, really good kickboxer. He doesn't always check legs, but when he's actually on it, he's an extremely good kickboxer, I have to say. His grappling's okay. When he's on his back, he does have great get-ups. To me, Sanamanji is just one of these fighters that I think is only really kept around because of these Asian cards. He's 4 and 4. He's lost Charles Johnson, Tim Elliott, Matt Schnell. They're all ranked opponents. His finish with American Gordon was great. Mitrapiso on a split is not exactly the most entertaining. Toddy looked a bit sluggish. The power in the hands looked a bit gone inside that fight. He looked a bit slower on the feet than usual. Grappling was okay, but I did think that he wasn't throwing at the same sort of velocity he was a few years ago, of course, as he's getting older. And again, a lot of these Chinese fighters, I think, have very, very padded records. So once they run into someone actually good, they will lose. I think that's Borjas' chance here in Peru. I think Borjas takes a win. I think Borjas takes this one pretty easily. I actually don't. I can see a 29-28. We might see a few judges' robberies on this card, but I'm hoping this one isn't. So Borjas is going to be the lock. We'll move into the favourites. Right, so this week's favourites, we're going to obviously start with Zhang. As I've already said, Zhang here, Zhang should probably get a first round crucifixion of Johnny Walker, just same as Anthony Smith. No real difference between the two of them. Johnny Walker's been hit with probably some of the oddest KOs in UFC history. Don't see that changing. Not really much point to talk about. Another first round KO. Next, moving on, Jermaine Sterling. Look, I like T-City. I genuinely do like T-City, but if I'm being realistic, Jermaine Sterling, it's going to be a straight grappling match, and if you're giving me a straight grappling match 145 between the two of these, it's going to be Andrew Sterling being able to hold him down, being able to control it. It's kind of the way he done against Imolov. Now, I know he didn't beat Imolov, but he definitely did control the second round of that fight. His striking has never been spectacular, Sterling, and I don't think that's going to change. I really don't. I just think the grappling is still going to be Sterling's. I'd probably say 29-28. It is a 5 round, or sorry, it's a 5 round scrap. I keep thinking it's 3, so probably give me 48-47. I'd probably say for Sterling. I think he just out grapples him, gets striking a bit onto later rounds. T-City stamina's not always the greatest, so I would say that Andrew Sterling takes it. Next move, Lotw Kavanagh, who's fighting Charles Johnson. Massive step up in competition for him, 9-0. I think he has the power to be able to upset Charles Johnson. I think he's able to not finish Charles Johnson, but I think he's able to definitely rock him into the later rounds, 2 or 3, landing with significant power for 125. I think he has the better grappling and wrestling between the both of them. I think it's Lotw Kavanagh looks like someone who probably will be ranked top 15 and maybe close to a title soon. Unfortunately to me, Charles Johnson's had his time. I think he's riding into the sun. I don't think he's going to stay inside the top 15 rankings. I do think it'll be a fun fight. I think it's a hard test. I will give it 29-28 Lotw Kavanagh. And next we're moving to Michel Pereira. Now, Michel Pereira is a weird one because every time he jumps up in competition, he loses to all the top 15. But once you give him an unranked guy, the style of Capoeira just seems to come out and really, really help him. His striking just seems to be polished. He always seems to be able to jump onto a neck or something inside the submissions, and I do believe that that is going to happen. I do think that he's going to be able to knock out Kyle Dawkins. Kyle Dawkins is another weird one. He's been back in the UFC now. His first stint was not exactly brilliant. He went back on the regional scene. He picked up a few wins. Maybe not against the greatest competition. He's come back. He's back in the octagon. He's been finished for Eric Anders, Roman Diaz, Phil Hawes, Brandon Allen. Now, it's all around 5 years ago. I don't think there's going to be much difference from him here. I think Michel Pereira might be able to find a submission on him late into this fight. And yeah, you give me, I'd probably say Michel Pereira by submission. Next to move into the underdogs. It's a pretty quick episode this week. I really don't have a lot to talk about. I do think that a lot of this Chinese talent is not great, if I'm going to be 100% honest. So a lot of them aren't going to be on this list. I think a lot of them have padded records, and a lot of them just aren't spectacular. But I will talk a bit more in depth on the underdogs, because I think I have a few things to say. Next we move to Salsa Boy Waldo Acosta. Now this one might look a bit weird because he is fighting Sergio Pavlik, he is fighting the Terminator, someone who was very scary for a time, but I just don't know what Sergio Pavlik's going to appear. I just don't know what Sergio's actually going to come out, and that's is my main issue to pick Salsa Boy. I don't even like Salsa Boy, but I do believe that if it's the Sergio that we've seen fight Volkov and Tom Aspinall, the one who's basically fighting his own shadow, then yeah, okay, you're not going to see much difference. It's someone who's almost too scared to engage and will just start to argue himself if he's getting outpointed, and that's something I could see Waldo Acosta winning. If he comes out like the Rosenstrike win, which wasn't even a good performance in my opinion, it's just Rosenstrike wasn't good, that is still Waldo Acosta. I can see still being able to win this. I think this is going to be a classic heavyweight fight of outpointing each other. I'll take that Waldo Acosta takes it 29-28. Nothing spectacular, nothing that interesting. Next we move into Mashat. Look, my boy Mashat over here is fighting Gage Young. Now personally, this is like one of the only Chinese fighters that's like fully Chinese I've picked. To be honest, I think evens for him is pretty decent. Gage Young has really looked good in the ground, not great in striking. The opposite is for Masher Hai here. I think he's going to be able to stay up, possibly land something big, maybe a finish on the cards, I don't know, but I definitely think he's going to be able to drill 1-2s down the middle and definitely be able to stay straight with a lot of his strikes. I'm hoping that the Chinese kind of judges see a robbery for their fighters and see sort of like, you know, the hometown crowd go kind of crazy. I'll take a 29-28. I don't think it's going to be domination. And now this one might be the most controversial on the list, considering I'm putting on Kiefer Crosby, who's 0-2 in the UFC, and it hasn't looked great, but I am going to be honest here. If I'm going to be personally honest, I think that Kiefer Crosby is someone that, in my opinion, probably should win this fight. I think that his opponent has a very kind of padded record to Najari Super Saiyan. I think he has a very padded record. A lot of his wins, when you're 10-1 fighting someone who's 2-2, a bit iffy. The armbar against Michael Shamilko, bit dodgy. The Douglas Ribeiro finish is nice, but he kind of just comes in with no real defense, the same as Kiefer Crosby. But what I think is he kind of just puts himself in the danger zone because he's fought fighters that haven't really have the power to be able to knock him out. I think he might come in like a Justin Gaethje sort of regional scene guy who thinks, oh, I have a dynamite chin, no one's been able to finish me, I'll just stand in front, I'll get back, I'll take punches and be able to stand. If that happens, I believe that Kiefer Crosby could actually start to find more success with the striking and being able to bring in his grappling. He ain't a bad grappler, Kiefer Crosby, and I think he will have the grappling advantage here. I know he's been submitted twice in his last two fights, but you have to be honest there against Sam Patterson and I forget his second loss. Sam Patterson and Kevin Jerzett, which are two highly prospects that, to be fair, should be beating someone like Kiefer Crosby. I will be honest, I don't think Kiefer Crosby is exactly brilliant, but with the padded record and the striking defense and the same sort of numbers, I believe that Kiefer Crosby can actually weather the storm, start to land. Like my Royce McCree pick earlier this year, I believe that he can weather the storm and start to land and start to take over in fights like this. So give me Kiefer Crosby at 7-2. I will see will the Aka load this time. It usually doesn't, but let me just see. I do not have the Aka back myself just yet, so Michel Pereira alone at Kavanagh. Sterling and my Zhang on a tenner, that gives back 37. So that's going to be the Aka for this week. And if you did enjoy the video, as I've shown up the Aka here, please hit the like button. We have been on a pretty decent run of a lot. We got everything right down on its Contender Series. I will keep doing those. I'm trying to do an episode of Road to the UFC. Actually, I will be out. It is on Friday morning. I'm trying to get it done, but I can't find any odds. I'm waiting for an app to see if the odds come up. If they do, I will make a video on you road to the UFC. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to press the red button. A lot of you just aren't subscribed, and it's just not what I want to see. So anyways, if you did enjoy the video, all I've said, and peace.